Hello, welcome to the latest episode of Driving with Dan. Today is what is it today? I can't even remember. The 4th of April, 2018. And welcome to episode 20 of Driving with Dan. First things first, I've moved the camera position, so now you're down below. I'll leave it for this video and see what you think. It's a bit different. I thought I'd try and mix it up a bit. But yes, in today's video, we've got a drag race involving the Dodge Demon, which should be interesting. Top Gear, the final episode of the series. A bargain Jaguar you can buy right now, which I can't afford. And a car that I've been seeing everywhere. Right. Lovely. It's a lovely day. Apart from it's raining all the time. So if all of a sudden the windscreen wipers come on, I apologise. Yes, so first things first is the 720S versus Dodge Demon. I think this is sort of a head-to-head that we thought we would see at some point in the future, because everyone just is amazed by how the 720S performs on the road. Just how it accelerates, and that's mostly down to producing whatever it is. I think its dyno is about 690 brake horsepower, and it weighs next to nothing. So when you combine those two things, it's going to do well. But I think it actually surprises people how well it does. So I'm going to put my visor down because I can't see. So I think it surprises everyone by just its capability. And I think the one car that you would think would be close together then is the Dodge Demon, because that's producing 800 brake horsepower if you have it on race gas, race petrol even. It's 840 brake horsepower, so a lot more than the 720S. However, it does weigh a lot more as well, so together they should be pretty close. And then we saw I don't know what YouTube it was, but I saw it on Car Throttle. There was then a video of these two head-to-head in America. And it was just on a rolling, sort of run from a rolling start on a road. So it wasn't on a primed surface where the Demon was really designed to be, is in the quarter mile. And this was instead a rolling start. So more sort of based, I don't know, more focused for the 720S really. And the results is actually quite shocking. You could see sort of they start together, it's a very fair start, and then pretty much right away the 720S is just able to pull away, and it just leaves the Demon as if it was a Hellcat. It's gone. It just walks away from it, and it was impressive to see how the 720S performs. And I think they did two runs there and forwards and then backwards again to show that it was fair. But I'd like to see another channel do it as well, because it might have been that they weren't quite pushing the Demon. I wouldn't have thought so, but it's a possibility. So I think wait for a few more videos to really confirm it, but ouch. The Dodge Demon, what was meant to be very good in the straight line, got beaten by what is quite a capable supercar. But then you look at the prices, the 720S is £300,000 and the Demon is under £100,000. So you get what you pay for, really, isn't it? Yes, so and by the way, with that Demon, it was in its road setup, so it was only making 808 brake horsepower. It wasn't on the race fuel. So, there we are. There's only a brake horsepower difference of about 100 bhp. However, if you look at the weight of them, it kind of makes sense that the 720S would win. So the next topic then, Top Gear. And this is so it's the end of the series. It was episode 6, which is quite a short series, but I've just heard that they might be doing more this year. So it might be 2 seasons in a year, which would be fantastic. Quite a short season, but really, really good. I absolutely loved it. So, what happened? Featured in the episode was the Alpine A110. And they went around the track in the A110 and sort of just said how nice it was to have sort of a natural feeling sports car. Whilst yes, it's only a 4-cylinder, so was the original, it handles as quite a soft feeling car, really. It's not a Porsche Cayman in the way it handles and the way it moves. And Chris Harris said that he really liked the car for being itself, really, and not just trying to be this sports car that handles really flat and just being unique, really. And then they used their turn left at Hammerhead, which is something they included in the last series, and it's quite funny. But yeah, it was just the porthole to the better road. And they went to the Monte Carlo rally in the A110, and that wasn't so good. I mean, the actual episode section of it was really good, but the news for the Alpine, it wasn't. So what happened is they're going around the rally, and only a few minutes in, they get a light pop up in the dash, telling them about an electrical fault, which is quite funny because Alpine is Renault. So yeah, a few jokes were made there. But the car actually caught on fire, and Alpine have said this is because it's only a prototype and it's had a few issues. And apparently it was a fuel leak. So I'm guessing fuel got onto the exhaust headers and that was it. But yeah, no, it was a fantastic section of the episode. And then the next bit was 3 SUVs, and they're actually sporty utility vehicles, or the smaller ones. So they had the Alfa Romeo Stelvio, which Matt LeBlanc was driving. Chris Harris decided to take the Volvo XC60, and Rory Reid the Range Rover Velar. And I like Rory's choice. I think I would pick the Velar out of them. And the Velar seemed very capable. But more to my surprise was the Stelvio. It was incredibly capable. It just seemed to perform so well. It had zero faults. It was incredibly capable. It didn't get stuck at all. It didn't break down. Had nothing. And the way that they were driving really was pushing it to the limits. So it was, it was really good. I enjoyed it. However, the Volvo did have a few issues, and this is sort of going against what everyone says, really, because everyone calls Volvos tanks, but actually, it was amazing that an Alfa Romeo was more reliable, and significantly more reliable. So, one of the challenges is they had to go over this sort of like horse trial, essentially, over loads of ramps and jumps and stuff. And the Volvo started making quite a bad noise, and that was because the engine had fallen out, essentially, because the engine mounts are made out of aluminium, and that's not really up to holding the weight of the engine being thrown around in a jump, and it failed twice. So I think the Volvo XC60 needs a bit more designing, actually, which is quite funny. Yeah, no, fair play to Top Gear to really testing the cars, and it proved a fault with one of them, and fair play. Like, usually I'm quite against these shows just destroying the cars aimlessly, but this one actually seemed like quite a good product test, really pushing it to the limits, and it was really interesting to see that Stelvio didn't break a sweat, nor did the Velar, but the XC60 did. There we are. So there's a bit of product advice. If you're looking, product advice even, if you're looking for a new car that's around £50,000 and is an SUV, but kind of sporty and small at the same time, go for a Stelvio or a Velar, really, which is interesting. Anyway, the next topic is a bargain Jaguar that I just spotted. Well, I didn't find it. It was on Car Throttle as well. And it's an XFR-S. And if you don't remember those, they came out about 2012, 2013. And it's just the Jaguar XF, which is their saloon 5-door, sort of to rival the 5 Series. But this one is the 5-litre supercharged V8 from the F-Type and all of that. So it's producing 550 brake horsepower in a 5-door saloon. And this one is quite interesting. So the car is quite high spec. It's a nice looking one. It's got no damage at all. And it's currently on Auto Trader for under £35,000. Now that's the same kind of money is to get a base Mustang, and also the same price for a Focus RS, and you're getting a 550 brake horsepower Jaguar. And then the asking price originally was about £80,000 before any of the actual options, and this one's quite a high spec, so it's estimated to cost the owner, it's only had one owner, it's estimated to have cost them roughly £10,000 of depreciation per year. And that kind of puts you off buying it, because if it's already lost that in 5 years, what's it going to do to the rest of the value? Is it going to go much further down? And it's a limited edition, well, not really limited edition, but low number V8 5 Series size saloon car. How much can it depreciate? So I'm really, really interested to see where the values of those go. But it sort of was a bit of a reality check, didn't it? Really? Why would you buy a Mustang if you could buy that? But there we are. It was interesting to see that. A bit sad, really, but also very good news, because hopefully when I make a lot of money, I will go and buy one for about 20 grand, and then have all kinds of reliability issues. Yes. So then the last topic is cars that I've been seeing around that I didn't expect to see, and the car that I've noticed this week is the Range Rover Evoque Convertible. I'm staggered by the numbers of Evoque Convertibles that I've seen, because when I saw it was released, I was like, yeah, okay, kind of fun. You know, a few people are going to buy them, but they're really not going to be everywhere. And I was amazed to see how many I've seen in just what has been under a year of production of them. No, maybe just over a year. So it's just over a year of production of the Range Rover Evoque. And they are everywhere. And I can't quite work out why. Because they're not exactly pretty. Because that roof, when it's up, is rather hideous. It's not like it's practical, because it's basically robbed all of the boot space. It's got no headroom when the roof is up in the back. And I can't quite work it out. But then I think I sort of put my finger on it and was like, it's just quite a fun car, isn't it? You don't really expect to see a convertible SUV, and also it's quite a familiar car. Now, the people that are going to buy it have had an Evoque before, or have had one at some point in the recent history, so they've sort of wanted something a bit more fun, but also wanted a convertible. So in the end, I guess I sort of put two and two together. It does kind of make sense why you've seen them, but I was shocked by the pure number of them. But yeah, I think, I don't know how many they're going to make before they stop production, because I mean, the Evoques are, what, 6, if not 7-year-old car now? So they must be thinking about revamping it, or even creating something completely new. So it must be at some point in the future. Maybe it is that this convertible is almost the last hurrah for it. But yeah, no, just amazed by the pure number of them. And I don't know how they're doing for values, because they've been about a year. I don't know if they're depreciating much or if they're holding the values. I haven't really seen. But there we are. Yes, no, thank you for watching. Do comment below what you think of this position, because this is new. And yeah, we've made it to episode 20, which is quite surprising. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.